So, all right. So the question at hand, today is Monday. Now keep in mind, Rich Paul and LeBron James, were being cryptic as if they were going to have an announcement by week's end. Well, now it's Monday. So will there be an announcement today or in the coming days about LeBron James' next team? And could it be that maybe there's not any interest in LeBron James? And maybe LeBron James, the best logical choice for him is to go back to Cleveland, like Rick Bucher said. Maybe the Golden State Warriors are now not interested in acquiring LeBron James because rumor has it that Anthony Davis is off the market now. So I think them wanting LeBron James was to bring in AD. But at the same time, even if the Warriors was to bring in and find a way to land AD via trade and et cetera, well, how many games can you count on Anthony Davis to play? We all know Anthony Davis has been injury prone his whole career. Now, when he is on the floor, he can give you 25 points easily. I mean, with ease. But the problem is, that's the problem. The problem is he's not reliable. He's not available when you need him to be available. So the thing is, okay, even if you can get through the season, well, what happens in the playoffs? What if you trying to, make a very deep playoff run up to and including the NBA finals and trying to win the NBA finals and then he gets hurt in the Western Conference finals, say he goes to the Warriors or God forbid, the NBA Finals itself. So that is the problem with AD. But this guy, LeBron, his ego is so overinflated to where it's very annoying. People have to understand, including his diehard fans, this man is going on 42. Yes, he's made it very clear that he continues to play. He wants to continue to play. I don't get it. I feel like at this point there's nothing for LeBron James to play for, and if he doesn't go to a contending team or a team that's like one bench player or six man away from winning it all, then it just comes across as he's stat padding and is basically trying to extend his numbers. But LeBron has to remember he does not have the clout that he once had. He's 42. And whether he likes it or not, the league has moved on beyond him. And they actually did it a while ago when you started to see the emergence of Luka Doncic, um, um, Anthony Edwards, quite a few people. Giannis is still a very popular player. So, Giannis is headed towards his prime, at age 30, 31. So, Giannis still could have 4, 5, 6 good years left. But this dude is in his 40s. And Rich Paul, I think to a certain degree, Rich Paul has kind of rubbed people the wrong way. How he has, podcasts and how he's went on other podcasts and tried to openly diss Michael Jordan in comparison to boost LeBron's, legacy via his own, via his own mouth. So that's the thing. And then even if you do sign LeBron, well, how many years you want to sign LeBron for? I know he was talking about that he would be willing to take the veterans minimum, but my thing is with LeBron James. LeBron James had made so much money in the NBA. LeBron James has made well over $500 million in his NBA career. LeBron James is listed as a billionaire, so you know he doesn't need money. And I know LeBron James fans are going to say, why you packing? I'm not pocket watching. I'm just telling you the honest to God truth. LeBron James is not hurting for money. The man is a billionaire. Okay? He's a billionaire. So at this point, why would you even worry about money? Well, it's not about whether he need. I think everybody think and believe. Most people believe that he needs to retire, but uh, mm, he's made it clear that he's going to stick around for at least another year. I just wish LeBron James would, even if he does decide to come back. I just wish LeBron James would say, "Hey, let us know. Hey, this will be my final season, and make it a farewell tour." And like I said, there isn't that many takers as him and Rich Paul wants us to believe. I think had LeBron James left about 2 or 3 years ago instead of re-signing, I think he still would have a little bit of leverage when he was like 30, 38, 39. But going on 42, he's an aging player. Most people don't stick around and play until their 40s. Robert Parrish, he played for a while. He played into his 40s, but everybody know he wasn't Robert Parrish. You know, he wasn't Robert Parrish. He's just stuck around. And for the most part, he wasn't really tallying up any minute. But LeBron James wants to be a guy who wants to play in his 40s and tally up a lot of minutes. And then there's a question of how legit LeBron James is, being able to still average, over 20 points a game, even at, age 40, 41. But now he's going on 42. So that's a question. And people have insinuated that about LeBron James. But there isn't that many takers. LeBron can't expect LeBron James. The logical thing for him, even if he does go somewhere else, he just to play for the league minimum. Why would you want? Why would you want a additional 3-year contract worth who knows $100 million or whatever he may be asking for, when you could just play for the league minimum? Like I said, LeBron James is not hurting for money. He's fine. Yeah, and at the end of the day, the league, the NFL got tired of Tom Brady too. When Tom Brady said, "Hey, I may play till I'm like 50." And it got to the point to where they basically behind the scenes just told him, "Hey man, you got to go. You got to go." You got to go. And I think it's now to the point to where I wouldn't be surprised, even though I'm not the biggest fan of Adam Silver. I think it's to the point to where they want him gone. So, what is the most logical choice for LeBron James? Okay, where can he go? Like I said before, to me, the obvious choice for him is to go back to Cleveland, finish his career at Cleveland. The Knicks, no need for him to go to the Knicks, and I don't think the Knicks need or want him. I don't think the Warriors, me myself behind the scenes, I know Stephen Curry is like, and I know Stephen Curry is the type of dude, he don't like to make any waves. He's not gonna openly say that he doesn't want LeBron to come there. He's one of them type of dudes, you know, he he's one of them type of dudes. He wants to keep his reputation intact pretty much at all costs. He's not going to sit up there and say, "Hey, I don't want LeBron there." But I don't think Stephen Curry wants to play with LeBron James. At the end of the day, Stephen Curry has built his own legacy playing for one team 18 seasons and helping that team grow and win 4 championships. I keep saying this. The Warriors don't draft Stephen Curry. They don't have 4 championships. He doesn't have. I'm serious. When it's all said and done, Stephen Curry is going to be in the GOAT conversation. He's, to me, I think he's headed towards, at least right now as we speak, he's at least more than likely in the top 10 of the greatest that ever played the game. Now, depending what happens with the next couple of seasons, if he can find a way to win another championship, then he's definitely in that GOAT conversation. And here's the thing that LeBron James have to understand, even by some miracle he does go to Golden State or whatever the case may be, it will always be Stephen Curry's team. It's not going to be his team. It's not going to be his team. And I know some of LeBron James diehard fans are going to say the Warriors is bullshit. No matter what happens, it'll be like LeBron James had to go play alongside Stephen Curry to try to win another ring. And then if LeBron James, let's just say by some miracle, he does pull this off with a very elderly Golden State Warrior team, it just will further be an indictment on LeBron James' career about him running to go play with other people to go win rings. Because keep in mind, the team that he was drafted by, that was the team he was supposed to build with and bring championships to. Well, he's only won one championship with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that finals, whether people like it or not, was a very controversial finals. Then he won two with Miami. Then he won a championship, under dire circumstances. And I do mean dire circumstances, but to me, it counts. It is what it is. He had no control over what happened in 2020, but some people put an asterisk over it. So that's the thing. Once again, you have to evaluate his legacy. The team he was supposed to help build and win championships with, that didn't really happen. Once again, Tim Duncan was drafted by the Spurs and he won 5 championships with the Spurs. Stephen Curry was drafted by the Warriors. He won 4 championships with the Warriors and made 6 finals appearances. Michael Jordan was drafted by the Chicago Bulls. Magic Johnson was drafted by the Lakers. Okay? Just keeping it real. So you really have to you have to really, if you evaluate LeBron James, you have to evaluate and make the comparison to these other great players. And that's real. So, just wanted to put that out there. Anyway, this your boy Town. I'm out.